Hey everyone, this is Dave from Scent Memories. I'm really excited to be talking about the latest launch from a great niche fragrance house, Memo Paris. So if you want to know more about this one and what it smells like, don't go away. So welcome back. Before we actually do the review, I would love it if you guys have subscribed to my channel. Just by hitting the little subscribe button down below, and that way when I do upload new content, you'll be the first to be notified about that. So this fragrance is a brand new release for 2023-2024 from Memo Paris. Memo Paris has a ton of great fragrances. Most notably, of course, is African leather, which is the most popular fragrance, but they have a ton of great leather fragrances. Russian leather, Moroccan leather, Irish leather, Italian leather. I mean, the list goes on and on. French leather. They have a ton of great, amazing fragrances that are leather based. This one is a unique leather in the sense that it is not your typical Memo Paris fragrance. When I smelled it at Bergdorf Goodman late last year, I absolutely fell in love with this one. It was a love at first sniff. I took home a sample of it because I just wanted to give myself more time with it, smell it, give me a sense of if I would love this one for a full bottle or not. And I was blown away the more I wore it. This is going to be a great fragrance for fall, for winter, for cooler summer months and spring months. I think this is going to be something that if you love sandalwood and iris with darker kind of woodsy chords, this is going to be right up your alley. So this one is Inverness. Inverness is Memo Paris's homage to the city of Inverness in Scotland, which is their largest cultural city in the Scottish Highlands. So as you can see here, this gives you can see just by the presentation, it has this kind of Scottish outlay to the actual packaging. It looks like a kind of a Scottish bottle, right? With the kind of almost kilt-like feel to it. Now, before we go into the actual fragrance, I want to show you about the presentation real quick. When I got my package at home, I just kind of got really excited and I ripped open the package. So it's kind of hanging on for dear life. Like the front of the package is kind of hanging on by a thread here, but this is the box itself. This is the packaging. Obviously the presentation matches the bottle, so it has that kind of bluish gold kilt-like Scottish feel to it. If you're somebody who loves presentation, I think this is going to be something that you think might be really cool. Now the box itself actually unravels into this almost map. So it looks like a really cool map, and the bottle sits right in here, so it has that blue gold inlay when it sits here. So if I can show you. So it kind of sits right here, which I think looks really great with the actual presentation. So if you're somebody who loves displaying your presentation with your bottle in your collection, I think this will look really cool and very unique. So I do love the way the presentation is done on this particular fragrance. Now, with Inverness, this is again a woody fragrance. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't love orris or powdery fragrances, or you don't love sandalwoody fragrances, I think you should give this one a shot because this one is going to be very unique. It does have similarities to other fragrances, but for me, this one is beautifully done. It's very high quality, and it's something I think will grab attention of people. My girlfriend, when she smelled this one on me, she goes, "What are you wearing? It smells great." And she doesn't actually compliment me or mention a lot of the fragrances I wear. Sometimes she'll say, "Oh, that smells really good." But when I spray this one on my neck and my wrists, she goes, "Wow, that smells really good on you." Now, Inverness is, for me, one of my favorite releases so far of 2024. I know it's the beginning of the year, but for me, this is going to be personally one of my favorite launches of this year so far. So now, what do we get when we smell it? So this is a great sprayer. I'm already getting wafts of this in the air. Oh God, I love this one. So right off the bat, you have this creamy, milky sandalwood, which is sylvan. It's a little bit rich and has that kind of milky creaminess to that sandalwood. And anchored to that sandalwood is this beautiful cedar. The cedar here is camphoraceous, it's warm, it's balsamic, so it's balancing out that kind of very creamy sandalwood accord. Now, as I mentioned, I don't love orris in a lot of fragrances because sometimes it can come off a little bit too powdery. Here, it's not that case at all. So here, the orris root is buttery, it's soft, it kind of gives you this suede-like feel to it, where it has these touches of powdery nuances, but it's not giving you a powdery feel to it whatsoever. It's not an overly powdery fragrance in the heart, but it has that suede, powdery kind of accord that balances those two top sandalwood and cedar notes very, very well. Now, what I love that they use here is they use the note of amorous. Now, amorous here it's sweet, it's resinous, it has this vanillic, peppery undertone to it, which I think is really, really well done because it's marrying and balancing out the woody accords along with that buttery, suede-like orris, where you get this kind of vanillic, peppery feel in the dry down. And with it, you have this note of mate. The mate here is, I think, a perfect addition because it gives you this herbal, almost tea-like accord where it's a little bit dry and a little bit smoky. And I absolutely love the way it's used here. And as it dries down even more and more, you know what, hold on, I just want to spray this one more time because I just love the way it smells. Now, as you get into the dry down, you have the Gaiac wood here. The Gaiac wood, which I think is the focal point of the dry down, is the star player. It gives you this leather-like feel to the dry down. Oh, I love it. It has this dry, sort of smoky, timbered nuance to it with hints of leather. And that gives you a lot of that kind of leathery feel that you pick up in other leather fragrances from Memo Paris, but it's not a leather fragrance per se. It's more of a woody fragrance where you get the sandalwood and the cedar with the dryness from the mate and the leather-like accord from the Gaiac wood. So it's just really beautifully balanced. It's you pick up all these notes individually, but it all comes together in this beautiful, harmonious fragrance. And I think it's just really, really well done here. Oh, God, I love this one. I've literally been wearing this one, I would say out of the week, I probably wear it at least 3 or 4 times a week. Throughout the day, I'll just spray it on because I love it so much. This one, the longevity is not amazing, but it's not bad. So I get between 6 to 8 hours of this fragrance. After around the 8-hour mark, I start noticing it kind of becomes a skin scent, but I can still pick up wafts of this. Like the other day, when my girlfriend smelled it on me, I thought it just kind of dissipated. I didn't smell it at all. But she smelled it on my neck. She goes, "Oh, you smell really good." And this was like 6 or 7 hours later. So it smells, it can still project off your skin. It has decent projection, about 1 to 2 hours. But the sillage and the trail it leaves is amazing. I was in the gym and I wore this. I sprayed it on before I went to the gym. And about a half an hour to 45 minutes later, one of my friends came up to me and said, "What are you wearing? It smells amazing." Because he's a fragrance collector as well. And I said, I showed him this fragrance and he goes, "It smells awesome." So this one is, I think, going to be a big hit for a lot of people. Oh, I really love this one. This one can be dressed up for sure. It definitely has that rich, elegant, classy feel to it, but it can be worn dressed down as well. It has that casual kind of vibe to it where you can dress down. This is perfectly unisex. It doesn't go masculine or definitely doesn't go feminine. It's right down the middle. It does sort of lean a little bit masculine, but that's only on my skin. It can definitely, I think it's very perfectly unisex. And again, I think this is going to be great in the cold weather. I wouldn't wear this in the high heat. I think it might be a little bit too much, but I think in most temperatures, it's going to be a really great fragrance. So I'm curious to know how this is going to be drying down when it starts becoming a little bit warmer throughout the year. So I'm definitely excited to be wearing this one more and more. This is just a phenomenal release. And personally, this is becoming my top 5 fragrances from the house Memo Paris, just overall. So I would love to know what your favorite fragrance is from Memo Paris, and have you smelled this one? Are you excited to smell this one? Have you tried it, or are you kind of putting yourself into other fragrances that are launching this year so far? And also, I'd love to know, what are your favorite fragrances, or what are you really excited about for 2024? What fragrances are launching that you can't wait to get your nose on? I would love to know your thoughts. So that's it for this review, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around and listening to me talk about this wonderful release. As always, I will put the link down below to Jomashop so you guys can kind of get this for a great deal if you want to. It's up to you. But that's my review. I'd love to know your thoughts. Thanks everyone so much. I really appreciate it. And as always, stay safe and take care of each other. Bye everyone.